Hey everybody, John with Vynyly here. And if you watched my video that I did a little while ago about Kiss Alive and why I thought, in my opinion, it wasn't a very great album, you'll know that I took a lot of heat for that. For a lot of people, Kiss Alive is what opened up their entire musical world, introduced them to Kiss. They think it is a great album. My argument was primarily that the material is not that great from Kiss's first three albums, because Alive was the first three albums. And that's generally, I think, generally accepted that the first three albums, studio versions of those songs, were not great, but the material really came alive, no pun intended, when it was performed live. That's why Alive, for a lot of people, is one of the best albums ever made. Definitely the best live album ever made, in their opinion. Anyway, my point was, I thought the material overall was weaker than some of the later material from Kiss. Specifically, the next three albums. Those next three albums were captured on Kiss Alive 2. So I thought it might be kind of fun to go track by track. Kiss Alive, here it is, Kiss Alive versus Alive 2, track by track, track 1 versus track 1, track 2 versus track 2, all the way down for all 16 tracks, 16 because Alive has 16, Alive 2 has 20, so those last 4 tracks on the Alive 2 studio side will not be involved in this. And we'll just keep a tally. It'll be my opinions, my opinion only. This is not a hard and fast rule. I'm not trying to say everybody has to think this way. My opinions on all the tracks compared to each other. I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a like a March Madness bracket situation where no two lists are going to be the same. Make your own list if you like. Love to hear about it. Let me know if you do. But this will be my opinion. Kiss Alive versus Alive 2, track by track. Let's go. Before we get started, a bonus comparison. Spoken word introductions. You know, the you wanted the best, you've got the best. In my opinion, Alive 2, Eddie Balandas, better than J.R. Smalling on Alive 1. I give the edge on spoken word introduction to Alive 2. But that's not part of our comparison, so that's a bonus. Alright, track number 1. Track 1 on Alive is Deuce. Track 1 on Alive 2 is Detroit Rock City. Tough comparison here. Both are classic songs. I think because Alive has such an impact on everybody who is a Kiss fan, most people who are Kiss fans, and Deuce is the opening track, and it is a good one. I agree. Deuce is a solid track. It's good. I'm going to give the edge to Alive here and Deuce. Detroit Rock City is still a good song, but I'm going with Deuce for track 1. Track number 2 is Strutter from Alive and King of the Nighttime World from Alive 2. Man, that is that is another tough comparison. I personally think Paul's vocal is better on the Alive 2 King of the Nighttime World, which is a song I really like. But Strutter has the edge. It is one of those classic Kiss songs. And Nighttime World is too. But for my opinion, I guess I'm kind of eating my words here a little bit because I'm going to have to go again with Alive, Strutter. Track number 3, you Got to Choose from Alive versus Ladies' Room from Alive 2. Hate me if you want, but I think Got to Choose is kind of a forgettable track. It's kind of bland for me. But Ladies' Room from Alive 2, got that Gene Simmons vocal. I'm going with Ladies' Room, Alive 2. Track number 4 on Alive is Hotter Than Hell. Track number 4 on Alive 2 is Making Love. Hotter Than Hell is, in my opinion, is an okay song, and it's good. It sounds good on Alive. But Making Love from Alive 2, head and shoulders better than Hotter Than Hell. You get that, you get Ace, you get started off with Ace playing that riff, and then when the drums and bass come in, it begins to kind of drive that song along. Gives me a little bit of a Judas Priest kind of feel. I think Making Love is one of their best live songs for me. So we're going with Making Love. All right, track number 5, Alive, is Firehouse, and on Alive 2 is Love Gun. On Firehouse, you have a Kiss absolute stone cold classic track. On the Alive version, you've got the sirens. I think the music on Firehouse from Alive is good. It's a very, very good song. On Alive 2, you've got Love Gun, which also executed really, really well. Another Kiss classic. Maybe, I guess it is probably as classic as Firehouse is, but I really like on Love Gun, Ace's solo on Love Gun I think is really, really good. So I'm going to have to go with a tie. Sorry. They're both classics. I gotta go with both. Firehouse and Love Gun both get a point. Track number 6, we got 2 Gene vocals head to head. Nothing to Lose from Alive versus Calling Dr. Love from Alive 2. Nothing to Lose is an okay song. And I think on its own, it's fine. But when it's going head to head with Calling Dr. Love, there is no question in my mind. Calling Dr. Love gets the point here. It is, you hear those opening guitar riff, and you know exactly what song it is. Who's not going to go Calling Dr. Love versus Nothing to Lose? Somebody out there will, but I'm not. Number 7 is Come On and Love Me from Alive, which is Stanley vocal. Good, hard driving, basic rock and roll song. And comparing to Christine 16, which is a Gene Simmons song, Gene Simmons vocal, on Alive 2. Christine 16 probably hasn't held up as well, especially under the current, I don't know, societal conditions or whatever. It's probably, by some people might consider it a little cringy today. It was not in 1977, but might be today. But I'm going to try to not use that as part of my comparison. I think Christine 16 is a good song, but I'm going to have to go with Come On and Love Me. I think that's just a better song. All right, next up is Alive Parasite versus Alive 2's Shock Me. Both written by Ace Frehley. Parasite sung by Gene Simmons and Shock Me sung by Frehley. I think both these songs have positives and negatives. I really like the tune, the melody of Shock Me. Never been a huge fan of Ace's vocal on this track. And Parasite is a good tune. I really think Peter Criss's drumming is good on this song. Really. I know I say really a lot. But I really like Peter's drumming on Parasite. So, good drumming versus so-so vocals. I'm going Parasite. Next up is She from Alive, the album side 2 closer, versus Hard Luck Woman from Alive 2. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Hard Luck Woman is one of the most underrated Kiss songs. One of the more underrated Kiss songs. It's one of my personal favorites. I even like Peter's vocals on it. You criticize Peter all you want, but I just complimented his drumming, and now I'm complimenting his vocals. I think Hard Luck Woman is a standout track on Alive. She, on the other hand, for me, it gets a little bit tedious. It is nearly, to be fair, it's nearly 7 minutes long. And again, I find it to be a little bit tedious. So I'm going Hard Luck Woman. Next up, Watching You from Alive versus Tomorrow and Tonight from Alive 2. I feel like Watching You is, it's okay as you're listening to it. It's kind of forgettable for me. And Tomorrow and Tonight is a little bit better. It's kind of a little bit of a driving blues rock feel to it, maybe. But I give Tomorrow and Tonight the edge from Alive 2. All right, next up we've got 100,000 Years from Alive versus I Stole Your Love on Alive 2. So comparing these two, 100,000 Years, you've got a 12-minute track, nearly half of which is a semi-annoying... You guys are going to hate me. A semi-annoying drum solo combined with Paul talking to the audience. And this song is 12 minutes long. Versus I Stole Your Love, which is just a rockin', enjoyable song. I think you know which way I'm going on this one. Next is Black Diamond from Alive versus Beth from Alive 2. Oddly enough, these are both Peter Criss vocals. And I'll tell you, man, Black Diamond is a truly great song. You got that slow intro, and then the song picks up, and it really starts to hit, right? Really, really solid. Beth, on the other hand, I don't know that Alive 2's version of Beth is the best version, but the song itself is just a monster. And you can really hear the crowd just eating it up. Pete's vocal is maybe a little shaky, I think, on Alive 2's version of Beth. But, man, these songs are just both so important. But if I go purely on the song itself, I got to give them both a point. Next up is Rock Bottom from Alive versus God of Thunder from Alive 2. I won't even go too deep into this one. I will mention that I think Rock Bottom, the beginning of it, sounds like it was recorded in like a 50-seat dive bar. But it's up against God of Thunder. Okay, God of Thunder. I'm going with Alive 2 on this one. Next up is Cold Gin on Alive versus I Want You on Alive 2. Tough call here. To get to Cold Gin, to get to the music, you've got to get through Paul's banter. I said that last time. It's just, for me, it's just super corny. Kind of messes up the track, ruins the track for me, my opinion. I Want You is a good, solid song with nothing I need to skip. So, and the next one is Rock and Roll All Night from Alive versus Shout It Out Loud from Alive 2. This is almost an unfair comparison. You cannot compare these two. Both of these monster songs deserve a point. Rock and Roll All Night is a Kiss anthem. Shout It Out Loud is another Kiss anthem. They're both really, really good. And so I'm copping out. Giving a point to both of them. All right. Last song comparison. Let Me Go Rock and Roll, the album side 4 closer on Alive versus All American Man, the side 4 opener on Alive 2. I know that All American Man is a studio track. Might not be fair to compare them, but that's what we're going to do anyway. Let Me Go Rock and Roll, again, for me, it's okay, kind of forgettable. All American Man is a good, solid rock song by Kiss. So you know what I'm going to do. Give him my point to Kiss Alive 2. All right, folks, so final tally. Kiss Alive 2 with 12 points. Kiss Alive with 7 points. So in my personal, humble opinion, Alive 2 is a more enjoyable album to listen to than Alive. I'm not talking about importance because I know for you Kiss fans, both of these albums are very important to you. Not talking about importance, not talking about cultural significance. Just saying, for me personally, a purely listening standpoint, Alive 2 takes the cake. Takes the win. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you disagree with me, let me know. I'd love to hear your opinions. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.